Okay, so here we are in week 3 of our class. You're going to be watching several videos this week. One of them is Taylor Molly, who is a teacher and a poet, talks about a piano being lowered out the window. It's one of my favorite poems. I think you'll really enjoy that. He was one of the keynote speakers at QList last year. If you ever get a chance to buy his books of poetry or see him live, he's really great. And you're also going to watch some videos on Pink's what motivates human beings, and it's not always money. So there's 3 of them. I'm not sure you really need to look at the one that's the interview, but if you watch the TED Talk and then the one that where they're illustrating it, I think you get what's in the 3rd video too. So just go ahead and make sure you watch those 2, and I think you'll find them very interesting. All right, so this week we're reading chapter 5, and it's about moral development of character. And Ruth Bennett, who's a social scientist, said that it's about the attitudes, feelings, behaviors that a society kind of shares with each other. Probably easier in a society where it's not as diverse as the United States, but still we do have some expectations of what kids are going to be learning in school, how they're going to be behaving, what we want parents to do. They may not all actually do it, but we have an idea of what we expect from people. And he talks about, or this chapter is really about developing children's moral character, giving them opportunities to talk about moral situations, and not, just from a Christian view or a white view or a certain viewpoint. It's more about developing just kind of global ideas of compassion and fairness, justice, making sure that kids really understand that, and calling them out when they don't, because they really have to be taught this. It's not something that kids kind of come with, and if they're not hearing it at home, it's something that as teachers, it's part of our job is to make sure that kids kind of develop compassion towards each other and fairness in not only in their classroom but in their lives, because we want them to be social citizens that we can rely on, and that they have the viewpoints that human beings are important, and we don't treat them badly. Okay. On the news this week, there was a parent who was complaining, because they have lots of lists in this chapter about books that kids could read, and there was a parent who was complaining about the book The K. The child was reading it in 6th grade, and she was very offended because there's some racial topics in there, and there are. I wish she had read the whole book, because the whole book is about confronting racial beliefs and realizing that they're not true. It's about this guy who's on an island with a child who has been raised as a racist, and how they worked out their relationship. It's a great book, but I was very surprised that the parent was complaining about it. I think she had just read parts of it where the child is saying what he doesn't like about this one character, and they are racist. They need to be confronted and talked about. So I thought that was interesting. That's still a topic that comes up with parents all the time. And also talking about habits of mind in this chapter. Not only are we teaching moral character and helping kids develop that, but also understanding how to learn best, that they need to be reading at home, that they need to be thinking about their thinking, that metacognition. Some of you guys have mentioned that growth mindset, and teaching kids that if you don't do it right the first time, it's okay. You go on and you do it again. So very important, not just about adding fractions, but developing kids' minds for the whole child. And lots of you have stated that that's part of your teaching philosophy, of developing the whole child. This week you're going to be working on a group project. You're developing a slideshow, so it could be either Google Slides or PowerPoint, whatever you want to use. You're coming up with a problem that kids have, so it could be bullying, it could be social pressure, it could be the summer mind setback, where kids don't get enough reading done, and so they kind of slide back in some communities. So you're going to come up with what the challenge is, define it, come up with a project for the kids to do, and plan an activity. So that's something you're going to be working with your group this week. If you have any questions, let me know. It's pretty clear in the syllabus of what it is for the rubric. Okay? But have a great week, and I'll see you online.